Hey everyone, welcome to the news. So this week we're doing a run up to NAMM, and before we start with all that sort of thing, I want to just address that the keyboard player of Depeche Mode, one of my favourite all-time bands, his name is Andy Fletcher, also known as Fletch, and he passed away at the age of 60 yesterday, which is no age at all. Depeche Mode really putting out great music still, and now you just don't know what's going to happen. Really truly saddened by that. Okay, let's crack on. So, not from NAMM, so a couple of things that came out in the last couple of weeks that are worth noting are, firstly, we've got the AC Noises Urla, which is a intentionally nasty, unforgiving CMOS type fuzz, but it has a high pass filter and a low pass filter. You can adjust the peak and the cutoff of each of them, and then you can use an expression pedal to go between the two and kind of like get almost like a wah sort of sweep effect. Very interesting. It's a very unique pedal. It looks beautiful, and I do hope to be bringing you a demo within the next couple of months. We've got the Meris LVX. Now, this is one of the new mega delays that have been entering the market, and as you would expect, it's all stereo. It's got MIDI, looper, so on and so forth. This one is incredibly powerful. It kind of matches Boss in terms of power, which no one else really does normally. So you've got 24-bit audio digital conversion, 32-bit floating point of DSP, and it also has some of the parts from some of their other very popular pedals, so the Polymoon, the Hedra, the Enzo, the Oddbit Junior. This is going to be around $600, and it looks amazing. This could win Delay of the Year, and there is some tough competition. Old Blood Noise Endeavours have brought out a new pedal in cohorts with the band Churches. This is called the Screen Violence. Now, it's a two-part pedal. On one side you've got the Violence, which is two distortions or drives, so very light, but they run off into the stereo outputs, but you can actually stack them into each other to create a higher gain on that. But on the other side of it, you've got this stereo widening effect, so it's like a reverb that pans your effect left and right, so it's a pedal you really need to use with stereo. Now, what happens is you can either have it with modulation on it, so you're getting a bit of warble on either side, or you can have it so you've got a short, medium and long reverb all running at once, and you actually turn it around and blend them and choose how you can get rid of the short delay and more of the longer delay. Very interesting. I've got sounds like this, but I have to use my entire board, and this sounded absolutely lush. Like, the drive is tuned perfectly to the reverb effect. It's very, very clever, and it's all in one box, and it's only $279, so that's a lot cheaper than an entire board just to get the same song, the same tones. Okay, the TC Plethora X3. Okay, so you've probably seen the Plethora X5, which is quite a big beast. This is a smaller, more pedalboard friendly version, and it has 15, actually it has more than that, but 15 different TC effects, and those are Helix Phaser, Viscous Vibe, Tape Deck Blucher, Hall of Fame 2, Flashback 2, Sub and Up, Brainwaves, Corona Chorus, Hypergravity Compressor, Mimic Doubler, Vortex Flanger, the Pipeline Tap Tremolo, Quintessence Harmonizer, the Sentry Noise Gate, the Shaker Vibrato, Auto Eager Vintage Echoes. Each of these have 75 different tone prints per effect, and if you know anything about the tone prints, that's where you can go in and adjust them. You can turn a delay into a chorus. The tone print capability is extremely powerful. On top of that, you've got the free buttons on there. The 3-foot switches are the mash functionality, so that's gives you an expression pedal on each one. Basically, the harder you press it, the more it's like tilting an expression pedal. Very cool. TC only people who do this, and it's really, really good. You've got a tuner built into it. You've got MIDI. You've got Bluetooth, so you can actually control the tone print stuff via your phone or your iPad or whatever. It's got a cab sim built in it. A tuner and a cab sim, they're pedals on their own. Really, really good. This it's around $350, and I can see this kind of on a lot of boards. No drives on it, okay? No drives. If you want this, you'll need drives as well. Okay, Two Notes have brought out some drives. Okay, so you've got the Revolt for guitar and the Revolt for bass. They both feature MIDI, and Jason, cheers, mate. 3.5mm jacks, MIDI in and through. Perfect, it's what everyone should be using. They both have a 12AX7 preamp tube, which are running at 200 volts, meaning the plate voltage is high enough to actually make it do something. They both have effects loops, analog cab sims, and we'll come to that more in a second. They each have 3 different modes of amp on them. The guitar has Fender, Marshall and Solo Dallas, so they increase in gain from the Fender, which is clean, Marshall, medium, Solo Dallas high gain. Same with the bass, but you've got Ampeg, Marshall, and then an original Two Notes bass for the higher gain stuff. Each of the foot switches has a secondary function. On the bass one, you switch in the loop, and on the guitar one, you switch in a boost, which is going to be like a tube screamer type boost. You've also got like a 4 cable method thing, so you can run this into the return, the send of a big amp, and use the power section or use it to expand the functionality of your existing amp. When you buy these, you get 10 digital cabinets from Two Notes, who make the best digital cabinets, cab sims in the world, and they can be used if you plug this into your computer on Wall of Sound, or if you plug it into something like the Cab M or the Captor X. You can use those digital cabs in there, and you can switch off the analog cab sim in the pedals. Very cool. And these are only $399. These are really cheap for what they are. Really, really, really good. On the same day, Universal Audio released the Ruby, the Woodrow and the Dream, which we reported on last time. We said that these names have been licensed, and what are they up to. We speculated on what amps they were, what they were going to be, and now we know. So each of these is an individual pedal. You've got the Ruby top boost amplifier, which is a 1963 Vox AC30. We've got a Woodrow 55, which is a 1955 Fender Tweed Deluxe, and we've got a Dream 65, which is a 1965 Fender Deluxe Reverb. Very cool. Now, like I said, they're each a single amp per pedal, but you've got 3 variations of that amp, which are different mods. Then you have 6 different cabs and a no cab option as well. There's no MIDI on these. Okay, you can change what the switches are doing. So the foot switch, which would bypass it, you can change that to not, because why would you want to bypass something that is essentially your amp? There is Bluetooth capability as well, and there is an app with it, but it would be nice to be able to control this with a MIDI switcher. Maybe they're thinking about bringing one out that does Bluetooth. Who knows? Can do 4 cable method with this as well, similar to the Two Note stuff, and apparently these sound absolutely fantastic. Haven't heard the Two Note stuff yet. Sure, it's going to sound great, but from all reports, these sound absolutely amazing. And these are going to be the same price at $399. Remember, this is only going to do 1 amp per pedal. Tech 21. These are the godfathers of amp sims, and they've been doing like the Sans amps since the late 80s. So they have brought out 4 new Sans amps, and each of them, instead of just having the amp, they also have a complementary effect which works nicely with it. So you've got the Screaming Blonde, which is a Fender style amp, and it's got a tube screamer. Okay, English Muffy, which is a Hiwatt style amp with a big muff. Fuzzy Brit, which is a Marshall style amp with a fuzz face pedal, and then Mop Top Liverpool is a Vox style amp with a Range Master. So yeah, it sounds quite cool. Nice all-in-one floor flamps, if you like, and they're going to be $279 each. So this is your run-up to NAMM, and as we get more, we'll do part 2, part 3, part whatever. Okay, right, see you later. Bye.